Welcome to PAC 14 and Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Spicer Bell. I'm the president of Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and through this series of programs, we've traditionally featured the work done by nonprofit organizations in the community. We're taking a slightly different tack with today's program. Of course, the Community Foundation is a sponsor of the ShoreCam Volunteer Center, through which we recruit volunteers for all kinds of community improvement projects. An important part of the volunteer constellation for our community is our service clubs. Today we're going to be talking about Rotary clubs in our area, and with me is my guest Don Hackett. Don is the area governor, district governor-elect, correct? Did I get that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Many of us know Don with his work at Dove Point, but I'm going to ask him to put his Rotary hat on today, and next half hour we're going to talk about Rotary clubs.
Okay.
Okay. Don, you've been involved with Rotary for quite a while, I know, and for those who are watching who aren't familiar with Rotary, tell our viewers what Rotary is.
Well, Spicer, I have to first say that Rotary is a life-changing experience. I became involved in Rotary through what was called the Group Study Exchange Program, which is an international program that Rotary sponsors in sending men and women of various professions to international areas. And I went to Africa as a GSE member in 1995. And while I was there, I saw the impact of Rotary clubs in providing safe drinking water to villages. I saw hospitals that were built in part due to Rotary. I saw the life-changing experiences that Rotary was doing internationally, as well as having certainly the awareness of Rotary within our community and different projects that they had done. So that was my beginnings, or my pathway into Rotary. Rotary is an international global organization. It involves both local professional men and women to give service to their community. So being strictly volunteers, a person comes into Rotary with the objective that I'm interested in doing service, both locally and internationally.
Rotary motto is service above self.
That's true. It has been a long-standing motto, and you see just continually Rotarians throughout the world, as well as right within our local community, doing service to improve the lives of others.
A little history lesson. Rotary is now a little over 100 years old.
Correct.
It was founded by Paul Harris and some of his friends back in Chicago in, I think you told me, 1905?
1905 was when the first club formed. And actually here in Salisbury, we have the second oldest club in operation in our district. The Salisbury Evening Club is the second oldest club in our district of Rotary.
And Rotary has grown internationally, as I understand it, to over 33,000 clubs.
Correct.
And 1.2 million members.
Right, in over 200 countries.
200 countries.
So that really shows the international aspect of Rotary. Part of my training in coming in as the district governor was to attend an international convention in San Diego in January. And it was amazing to me. You have countries throughout the world that are participating in the international convention where they share projects of such magnitude, one being polio eradication, an international project that through Rotary, in part, we have helped to eradicate this dreaded disease from the face of the earth. And it's only now a disease that occurs in 4 countries internationally because of Rotary, in part.
Great. So, now, there are 3 Rotary clubs here in Salisbury.
There are.
In our viewing area. And tell our viewers a little bit about those 3 clubs.
Well, each of the clubs are exciting to visit. They each have their meeting time around a meal, so there's no reason why a person that's interested can't be a part of a Rotary club. There is a breakfast club that meets at Dove Point on Wednesday mornings at 7:30. There is a afternoon or lunch club that meets at the Fountains on Tuesdays at 12 noon, and there is the evening club, the Salisbury Club, that meets on Thursday evenings at the Boy Scout cabin on Riverside Drive. So the three clubs that are operative here in Salisbury each do work individually within our community, and they also do projects collectively from the standpoint of giving out Rotary service.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, and some of the ways, maybe use some of the examples locally, maybe some of the other communities you're familiar with. How do Rotary clubs, and in essence, they're volunteer organizations, and folks don't have to be members of Rotary, and Rotarians pay to be members of the organization. Why would somebody do that, and what are some of the benefits that you've seen to some of the communities in our area?
Spicer, I think the benefit is just the results of what you see, the impact of the service project. One of our service projects each year has been distributing dictionaries to third grade students in the school system, both public school, private school. And when you give a dictionary to a third grade student, those Rotarians that participate in that, it's always been an experience to have the student for the first time receive his or her own dictionary. The back to school projects that the three Rotary clubs participate in together, of providing a backpack that is filled with school supplies, certainly makes a difference for a child going back to school that otherwise may not be able to have the means to have those materials. Or to be a part of distributing a textbook to 8th graders as far as dope help prevention. That's the title of the book, Dope Help. And it is a curriculum that's taught within our school system as a result of Rotary and the cooperation of the local Board of Education in giving emphasis to preventing our young students today from going into that field of drug addiction. So there are so many projects that you see just directly the impact of that volunteer service. It's exciting to see that. You see the amount of benefit that's derived from students that receive scholarships through Rotary. Each of the Rotary clubs provides scholarships to graduating students. Again, a life-changing experience for many of the graduating students to have scholarship dollars to help them continue their education. It's a rewarding program just in seeing the outcomes and being a part of those service projects.
And Rotarians often, and Rotary clubs often volunteer their time. I know just I'm in Rotary, obviously. It's a little self-promotion here for both of us, but the opportunity to promote Rotary. But the different clubs have some great service projects. I know since I've been involved, we did some improvement over at the Life Crisis Center, some fencing and some landscaping and what have you. New pavilion in the park here in Salisbury. It was a project, the Rotary Club. There's a rain garden in Salisbury City Park that was put in by Rotary Club, helped to control some erosion and things like that. Other projects like that come to mind?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we could make quite a list of projects. You've identified some. I know in the field of disabilities, the Rotary Club has renovated a home that serves 3 mentally retarded individuals that need a residence. We have had programs where not only have they renovated homes, they have actually built homes. The Life Crisis Center was built through the efforts of the Wicomico Rotary Club. The Christian Shelter here in Salisbury has had renovations due to the combined efforts of the 3 clubs. And the projects just go on with people that approach the Rotary boards and say, we have a significant project here, whether it's an individual project, whether it's a project for a nonprofit organization. Rotarians are very receptive to people in need and programs that need the supports.
Great. You're watching Community Foundation Spotlight. We're glad to have you viewing the program here on PAC 14. My guest today is Don Hackett, and Don is the district governor-elect for Rotary clubs here in our region. And we're talking about Rotary, and Rotary is certainly an important part of the power of volunteering in our community. And if you don't volunteer, get involved. It's a great opportunity to meet friends, broaden your social contacts, and to make a real difference in our community. Now, Don, I know their local Rotary clubs have a couple of events coming up. Let's talk about a couple of those events.
Well, they do. Rotarians are very social as well, and they like to plan social activities that also benefit specific projects. We have coming up right here in Salisbury with the 3 different clubs 3 unique social activities. The first one is called Rotary Rocks. It's a Rotary Rocks concert, and it's being sponsored by the Salisbury Sunrise Club. It's going to be held on May the 8th, and it's going to be at the Winter Place Park, which certainly it will be a beautiful location to have the event. They have 2 rock bands that are going to be performing, and the purpose of the event is to raise money for 2 specific projects. One is the, and you probably have a better description of
it's
this.
the Help Your Neighbor Fund.
With the Community Foundation.
Yeah. And also the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
So 2 great causes, you know, a fun activity, and the club is promoting it for May the 8th. A second event coming up is being sponsored by the Wicomico Rotary Club, and that is a Zoobilation, which will be held at the Salisbury Zoo, and that's going to be on June the 12th. The proceeds from that will benefit the Salisbury Zoo, as well as benefit scholarships for graduating students within the school district.
It's second year for Zoobilation.
It is.
Great party.
Yeah.
It really is. A project that is done also with the locally owned restaurant association.
Yes. Great food.
Great, absolutely great food. Each of the restaurants in the Laura group kind of send out their chefs with their specialties, and last year it was a really fantastic evening.
You felt like you were on a safari, and you know, it's that atmosphere and a great time. So that again is another fundraising activity to benefit certainly worthwhile programs.
We have to be careful how we pronounce it. It's fun and fund.
That's true. Very true.
It's both.
The Salisbury Club is engaged once again in their raffle. They have a Rotary raffle this time of the year, and actually the proceed from that, it's a $10,000 drawing. So the Salisbury Club is promoting their raffle project again with the proceeds from the raffle to benefit programs within our community and scholarship dollars. So all 3 clubs are very actively involved in social fundraising activities.
Yeah. So if one of our viewers is approached by a Rotarian or a friend of Rotary with one of these projects, they're a great opportunity to support good works in the community. They really are.
And I think it's an opportunity for, you know, people to be a part of these activities, to be able to talk with Rotarians as to really what is the purpose of that club? How does the club benefit our community, and maybe create some interest in additional people joining Rotary as a service organization?
Yeah, if someone's interested, if our conversation today is picking somebody's curiosity, how can they go about joining Rotary or finding out more about Rotary?
Well, I'm certainly very available for information. This year I've been serving as the district membership chair, and it's been interesting to go to different clubs and to speak on behalf of Rotary as far as, again, the purpose, the object of Rotary, and so I'm available. I can be contacted, certainly at Dove Point.
So we'll put your contact information, your phone number on the screen for folks who are interested.
That'll be fine.
So they also could contact any Rotarian.
Yeah, any Rotarian can give you information as far as the membership chair of their club or the president of their club who can provide you with the information.
I think most of the Rotaries are quite open to having visitors and guests.
They are.
So they can almost, as you said, it's always over a meal, or at least locally, and they could talk to a Rotarian and encourage that Rotarian to invite them to a meeting sometime.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I always enjoy taking guests to Rotary. It's an opportunity to expose them to the club and maybe some what's going on in the community.
Yeah, it's a great fellowship, and at the same time you attend a meeting that's focused on that there is a special program planned for every meeting. So each time you go to have a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner meal, whichever Rotary Club you're attending, you have a program that has been planned, a program speaker that's going to be addressing a topic that's relevant in the community, a topic that really is of interest. So in addition to being fun and having good food, you also really benefit by just hearing an exciting speaker address a specific topic.
And the topics, it always has amazed me, the diversity of the topics.
Absolutely.
And you really do learn about things that are going on in your community that otherwise you might not have had any contact with.
Very true.
So, I was trying to kind of summarize for myself the benefits of being involved in Rotary or one of the other service organizations, and we're going to try to invite some representatives of some of those folks, organizations, to join us in the future. But it's an opportunity to network. It's an opportunity to service in the community, develop new friendships. But there's a particular emphasis in Rotary, and that's the emphasis on ethics in business. How has that been an important part of Rotary?
I think the ethics of business is one of the key reasons why we have a group coming together. If you're walking down the main street of Salisbury, you can see the four-way test on the sidewalk, and many times we've seen what's called the four-way test. It is a statement, a business ethic that we all as Rotarians adhere to. We reaffirm it at our meetings. Basically, that four-way test of it, is it the truth? And with what you're doing, is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? I think those four statements that we reaffirm at every meeting are important to us as business leaders. They're important to us as family members. They're important to us to reaffirm and to apply to our daily lives. I know when I was president of our club, we had one business leader that actually, before we reaffirmed the test, a well-known business leader that said, the four-way test has meant the most to me this week because of having to make a major business decision. And I drew upon the four-way test to give me some direction. So it is a statement that is reinforced. It's a statement that really reflects our ethical code as we operate our businesses.
I think that particularly that last one, is it beneficial to all concerned? I mean, if in all of our business dealings, if our interactions with people in the community, if we could always try to conduct them in a way that everyone benefits. It's not me against you, but everyone benefits. How much better our community would be.
Absolutely.
So it's great. But Rotary has a tremendous international emphasis. You talked about it a little bit earlier with the Polio Plus program and what have you, but talk about the Rotary international programs. Now, I know group study exchange is being phased out, but has had tremendous impact over the years.
Absolutely. I think that element of promoting international goodwill and understanding, many times politically, we stay away from political arenas. We pretty much look at Rotary as an international organization. With polio eradication, we've gone into certain countries for polio eradication efforts, not because of being of a political venue, but simply because of we're trying to do a service that is universal. The group study exchange team is an example of, you have a team of professional men and women that visit with us, and we in turn reciprocate. that do not represent a political viewpoint, but they are there to promote, again, international understanding and goodwill.
And we recently had a team from Italy visit here, and they've stayed with in the homes here in Salisbury.
Absolutely. It's a tremendous experience when, for me, to be able to stay in homes of Rotarians in South Africa, just as it was for the Italians to stay in homes of Americans right within our community here, as opposed to staying in a hotel or being lodged someplace else. But there are other types of programs that do promote that international understanding. There are a number of ambassadorial scholarships, peace and conflict resolution types of scholarships. During this next year, Rotary is going to be encouraging what's called a vocational training team, as opposed to the GSE emphasis, Group Study Exchange emphasis. They'll have a vocational training team that will focus on an area of concern, whether it be the area of literacy or the area of health or whatever it may be. You will have a team of professionals that will be within our district to complete a project, to work on a project. Just as if we send a team to another part of the world, they will be there for a specific project to complete during their visit there. So it will promote goodwill just as the GSE program has, but at the same time they hope to be able to achieve more by identifying a project and working on a project to benefit that community in which they're visiting.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's a Rotarian from the Caroline County area that really got wrapped up in this, and has personally gone to Ghana a number of times to drill. He's a well driller.
Correct.
He's gone over there and offered his expertise, and I think provided some equipment to.
Absolutely.
As an individual Rotarian, to now provide fresh water to thousands of people.
Yes.
And got started through Rotary.
Yes, absolutely.
And he is supported by other Rotary clubs.
Yes.
So.
Clubs within our district have helped him financially, and that's, again, just another example of Rotarians giving service to their community, both locally and internationally.
Yeah. And a lot of that is channeled through the Rotary Foundation. And a lot of Rotarians contribute to the Rotary Foundation to fund that work across the world. How does Rotary Foundation work?
The Rotary Foundation is an international arm of Rotary. I like to think that the foundation is really the heart of Rotary, because as Rotarians, we do contribute toward the foundation. The foundation sponsors certain projects, if you will, like the Group Study Exchange that's funded through the foundation. The vocational training team model will also be funded through the foundation. Many of the educational grants that Rotary sponsors, international, again, are made possible through the foundation. So the foundation is oftentimes that part of Rotary that maybe we don't see locally within our community. It's of the international venue, which makes Rotary so unique, that it is an international program.
Neat. Opportunity for young people to get involved with Rotary?
You know, there is an opportunity for young people to be involved, and we've just recently formed a club that's called Interact. And with Interact, it refers to the high school level of communicating to young people the importance of service, service within our community. The Salisbury Christian School just recently formed an Interact Club. And with the Interact Club, we probably have about 25 to 30 high school students, ninth grade through 12th grade, that are sponsored by a Rotary club, and they participate in Rotary functions. This group recently came to the Wicomico Rotary meeting and helped us do Easter baskets for kids that maybe would not have received an Easter basket. They've participated in projects as far as improvement of Camp Fairley Manor, which is a camp for individuals with disabilities. So we have some joint projects to to reinforce to young people today, it's important to give service to others. It's important to look at how we can make a difference in our community, as well as to help them develop leadership skills. So Interact is very much a part of our district, with clubs forming at Salisbury Christian School. Clubs have been operative in the past at Salisbury School. Different public schools have had Interact clubs. It depends upon the interest, the support also of the local school administration to have that continuity from year to year. So Interact is operative. Rotaract is another way in which young people can be involved, and Rotaract is basically Rotary at the college level, so that if you have the age level of, for most college students, that would be perhaps from 18 to 21 years of age, again focusing on service and how a Rotaract club at a local college can benefit the community, again locally and internationally.
Great. You're watching Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Spicer Bell. I'm the president of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. My guest today is Don Hackett. Many of us know Don as the executive director of Dove Point. I'm probably going to ask you a couple of Dove Point questions before we get done, Don. But today we're really talking about Rotary. And Rotary clubs are an example of the service clubs that exist in all of our communities. We're fortunate here in the Salisbury area of having a rich environment of those clubs. But today we're focusing on Rotary and the volunteer work that Rotary does in the community. Let's talk about benefit to members for a moment, if we could. Don, I know a lot of folks, particularly early in their business career or what have you, are interested in developing leadership skills. How does Rotary develop leadership skills?
I think Rotary has a number of avenues for people that are interested in developing leadership skills. Rotary sponsors what's called a Rotary Leadership Institute, and it communicates just basic principles as far as administration of a business. It conveys information relating to whatever your business may be, operating at a very high ethical level. It provides the leadership skills for men and women going into the respective professions. I think in addition to the leadership skills is that so important with Rotary is that networking piece. And as you visit a Rotary meeting and you don't have a set seating arrangement, but you're always interacting with someone of a different profession. Originally it was there'd be one representative from each classification or from each profession within a Rotary club, but that has expanded that you may have a group of bankers there, or you may have a group of contractors in your Rotary club.
Well, we try to break them up a little bit.
We try to break them up a little bit. But
Don, we're running short of time here. I've let time get away from us, and certainly it's great to talk about Rotary. But any news from Dove Point that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, from a standpoint of Dove Point, I can certainly share that Rotary has been such a tremendous organization in providing supports to enable people that are physically challenged to be able to regain some of those skills through funding of resources to purchase what's called move equipment for folks to be able to ambulate. And that's just an example of how Rotary has impacted on one organization here within our community in such a positive way that it's changed lives.
Well, Don, we hope we have piqued some folks' curiosity, and perhaps our Rotary clubs locally will have some folks who are viewers who will contact a Rotarian and get themselves invited to a meeting. Also, if someone's interested in learning more about Rotary, they can go to the Rotary website. That's www.rotary.org.
Yes.
A great website to tell folks about the work of Rotary. And really appreciate you joining us today on Pack 14.
My pleasure.
Okay, great. We've been talking about Rotary and the tremendous impact that Rotary clubs have on our community, a very positive impact, as well as the benefits to being a Rotary member. Remember that how important volunteering is to our community and how volunteering builds our community, the quality of our community and the quality of life. So whether it's a Rotary club, service to a nonprofit organization, reach out. Find a way that you can help us build an even better community. And thank you for viewing Community Foundation Spotlight here on PAC 14.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on PAC 14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. PAC 14 is a great way to connect with your community.